Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing our reaction to the Lilith 4-year anniversary to Art of Conquest video. We're not going to do the beginning with the cinematic just because it's a cinematic. We're going to look at the Lilith company, the producers, and the actual members of their team and their feedback to everything, because I want to go through question by question and give my reaction. I will say I have not watched this video. I watched through the cinematics. I did all this in one take, and then it got to the questions. The cinematic's really cool. I recommend going and checking out the video. However, where I really got drawn in was the questions, and I had no idea that they would actually be asking Lilith employees. So I'm just getting rid of that whole beginning portion with the cinematics, and let's jump in. Let's go question by question. I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. I'll take my guesses before. Hopefully I get some right.
嗨，大家好，我是仙女家园的策划默默。
All right, so what they're doing now is they're basically doing Q&A. I wonder if I can move the screen just a little bit. That way, can I shrink it a little bit? That way you guys can kind of see the full context of everything that's about to happen. I'll just bring it up a little bit. That way you guys can kind of hopefully see everything that pops up. So this is questions to the developers where they actually answer, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions afterwards. They said, who came up with the idea for this script? What do you think about it? So they're talking about the intro stuff.
这个剧本是我的想法，因为前段时间一直在筹备周年庆，所以就想这次怎么搞可以热闹一些，就有了这样的想法。
All right, so I don't know who she is. I would love to get to know her, but basically she came up with the idea. You know what? Out of all of the anniversaries, this one's super flashy, it's super big. They are doing some really good promotional stuff. That's huge. So the next question that they have was, the event rewards are very generous for this. Was it planned that way because of certain considerations? Kind of expecting a generic response, like we care about our players. Let's see where they go, though.
随着4周年的到来呢，我们越发觉得很多老玩家开始慢慢潜水了起来，不在社交平台发言了。那这次周年庆呢，我们希望通过这些方式去激活玩家，让他们重新活跃起来，可以和我们一起共度4周年。
All right, so that is, you know what? Mad respect for Lilith. She answered that question completely honestly. So the question was all centered around some people have stopped playing Art of Conquest, and her goal with this anniversary event is to kind of get that spark back and entice people to come back playing. Let's see the answer to this question, because this is how are you going to revive the commanders? Because I have a bunch of thoughts with this, and also I don't know who this is. She has a huge challenge on her plate. Like, that is not easy. So let's see this. I have my own thought process. I'll share with you it afterwards. How are you going to revive the commanders?
这个问题的话，可能需要我们运营的同学来回答一下。
大家好，我是运营的同学。周年庆期间，我们准备了很多的活动，总价值可能超过10万 LB 了。这些活动包括签到送粉龙蛋，领主们写愿望，我们就帮你实现你的愿望。还有，你可以通过。
All right, so right now the question was, how do we revive the old players? Now they're listing off the wishing thing, Vega skin, purple.
周年庆期间的签到来领维拉的英雄皮肤，还有登录就有百抽可以领，可以说是福利满满。
All right, so these two kind of go together. So they said that they're going to revive the old player base. Here's the problem with the answer to that question. They just talked about the event. That's not going to revive the old player base. The old player base is not going to come back because there's some events in the game now. Like that's not how it works, unfortunately. I would not want the job of bringing old players back. Here's the problem with Art of Conquest and bringing old players back is, as soon as, and maybe you guys have experienced this yourself, as soon as you stop playing for a period of time, what ends up happening is your account just starts to deteriorate in its value. And I don't mean money-wise. I mean you're not staying up to date. So if you stop playing for a month, you're going to fall really far behind. I don't care even if you're on a really old server and you've been playing for 3 years nonstop. If you stop playing for a month, that's going to like really hinder your progression drastically, especially considering that there's more and more events coming out rapidly. That being said, because old players had their old accounts, if they log in them, they are going to be so far behind that this one anniversary event is not going to be enough to catch them up. So I hope that they figure out a way to entice old players to come back. I don't think that one anniversary event, I don't think it's going to do it. But let's check out the future game plans. Will there be seasonal map again like Drake?
大家好，我是剑与家园的策划。我们这方面确实是有规划的，就主要还是要看玩家对于我们一些老的地图的一些反馈，然后我们再会去做出一些调整以及新的一些设计。
All right, so this is pretty cool where they're looking for the feedback. So I don't know about you guys. I feel like sometimes I offer feedback in many different forms. I'll do the developer feedback questions. I'll put stuff out on the channel, and sometimes I feel like sometimes it's not heard. But here's the cool thing. I have seen things go out there, maybe not from me, maybe from other people. And you know what? That's not true. The whole reason why the content creator program exists, like there were people advocating for it, and they do listen. So Lilith will listen. It just sometimes it takes a lot of noise, and we also have to show them exactly what needs to be changed. It's one thing to complain about something, but that doesn't solve anything. We can complain about something all day long. We need to be able to identify a problem and also give a solution. I think that will also help them out quite a bit. So if they're talking about changes to the maps and they're looking for feedback, let's help them out with that. So do you have any plans to change the human characters?
肯定是会有的。战斗方面的小伙伴一直都在观察我们线上这些种族平衡性的问题，基本上每个版本都会做出一定的调整来加强某些比较弱势的种族。
All right, so they're talking about game balance. This is one of those things that I feel like no matter what the game, it's going to be next to impossible to keep it perfectly balanced. So I think first things first, we need to acknowledge that perfection as far as balance is unrealistic and it's not obtainable. So as long as we can all agree with that, then I think that there's ways to offer more balance so that there's at least more playable races. There's 5 races right now. I would say that right now there's probably a strong 3 races out there. And it also depends on where you are in the game. The idea that Lilith is going to make balance patches and adjust the races, I'm really happy to hear that they consider that. The most recent patch in September, they actually did a ton of troop balancing. So huge shout out to Lilith for doing that and kind of doing something about the unusable troops. I know when Taint was around, we brought that up quite a bit. And it's nice to see that they're actually doing something. Again, going back to the original thing from like last segment, they will listen to our feedback, but we also need to offer them some solutions and why that feedback is valuable. So next, the next question is, will new units or new races be added? I haven't seen this yet, but if this question is being asked, then I'm going to guess yes, because why else would they ask this? I hope it's not. Let's see though.
其实新英雄和新种族呢，我们一直都在做的。像8月份的时候，我们刚刚上新了新英雄变庆。种族的话，由于工作需求比较大一些，所以时间会周期长一些。那我们也欢迎大家可以在社区上向我们提供一些新种族的建议。
All right, so they didn't actually answer the question as far as like races and units, like what we think about units like swordsmen or archers. So I think that they are doing a really good job with releasing heroes. I just, yeah, as far as like a whole new race, again, until all races are playable for some purpose in the game, I would much rather see Lilith put their efforts into finding balance or adding like removing catapults from races and adding in like those other units like Gatling gunners or those feather shot archers before considering making a whole nother new race. That's just me personally. So yeah, they have been doing good with the hero releases. So this is a hot topic question. What are your plans for the artifact system? So I think that we're now at the point where there's like more artifacts, or we're almost at the point where there's more artifacts than heroes. People have been asking for resets for the artifact materials for a long time. Maybe we'll get some insight. Here we go.
我们目前已经有想法对神器功能做进一步的拓展了，未来可能会实现神器 2.0。虽然这个想法目前还处于比较初级的阶段，但大家可以期待一下。
All right, so they're looking to expand the artifact stuff. What I'm interested in is will heroes be able to equip multiple artifacts, and how exactly would they expand the artifact stuff? Maybe they'll make it so that they progress further than 5 stars. That would be really intense. That would be super pay to win heavy, especially for the pay to win artifacts out there. I think again that's a really hard question to solve. I would love to see the artifact resets for materials before anything else. That's just me personally. So the next question is, are there any considerations to adjust the hero trials material source? Kind of interesting, so let's see what they say for this.
实际上，我们已经在活动中和礼包中增加了神器材料的投放，那领主可以关注一下相关的活动。
Yeah, so I think that question was getting more artifact material from hero trials. I agree with her. You can get so many artifact materials now from events. Should there be more? I think as a player, especially the free-to-play community, the answer will always be yes. Like, who doesn't want more? However, I think that there is striking that balance with the game. Ultimately, Lilith is a business, so I can respect them for that. And I do think right now they are doing a really good job of striking that balance. So next is, will VIP and bundle content be upgraded? That would be cool. The bundle thing is starting to get outdated. Not gonna lie, there's better ways to spend money.
在8月初，我们已经完成了对 VIP 限购礼包的调整。VIP 配套的声望奖励呢，在9月初的版本也已经开发完成了。
All right, so I don't really know what to make of that, or maybe I'm missing that whole question altogether. The bundle system, they expanded it so you can get like 3 of the $99 bundles. That's cool. That's only going to help the super whales. I have not personally bought bundles in a very long time, but anyways, will the dragon design be rebalanced? Really good questions now that dragons are kind of falling off a little bit. I mean, they're huge, but
龙的平衡呢，实际上是一个非常复杂的问题，包括龙技能的开发和平衡啊，以及牵扯到其他种族啊、布阵信息一些等等。那后续呢，我们也会进行调整，然后慢慢放出给到大家。
Nice. All right, so I love that. I think that her response is very genuine. Where, like, will the whole dragon system be redone? She's absolutely right. It is extremely complex. It's not something. Dragons are not a band-aid fix when it comes to Art of Conquest. First of all, people have put serious money into dragons, whether it's the dragon skills, like the greater abilities, or the skins, which cost as much as my rent for the month. So I think if they did something and they did it poorly, a lot of people would be upset. Now, if they made dragons so overly powerful, then you run into problems, because we've seen overly powerful dragons before in the past. So I think that she has a really good point where they need to strike a balance. And again, I would not want that as a job. That's a very hard thing to do. If they redo the Topaz dragon, the Ruby dragon, and the Emerald dragon, I think that's a really good place to start. What are your plans about future plans for Art of Conquest?
其实我们最近正在做一个小队形式的一个 PVP 玩法，到时候领主可以在玩法内进行策略加自己的谋略的一个展现，具体玩法可能要等上线之后才看到了。
All right, so that's pretty cool. Where they're thinking about small team PvP things. this has to be a really hard thing for Lilith to come up with. I don't know how that will work. That sounds really, really confusing. What I would like to see change with PvP, and if they could do it, that would be mad cool, is either expand the actual battlefield, the grids that you can put down troops on, or what else would be really cool is maybe do 2 versus 2 and just have double the map size. So at the same time, you and a fellow commander put your armies next to each other, fighting 2 other people. I think that would be pretty sick. I have no idea how that's done as far as codes. All right, so this is, do you usually check forums and start accounts to interact with players? Let's see.
对我而言，我是会去逛贴吧看一下领主的讨论的，但是我不会直接去和领主做一些交流，因为我们也是有像维拉这种专门负责贴吧的小伙伴，他会帮。
It's Vega. So if you guys have ever heard from GM Vega, that is GM Vega apparently. Okay, sorry, I got super excited. Shout out to GM Vega. You do an amazing job.
我们收集领主的反馈，然后我们也会把我们的一些调整及时的告诉他，让他去反馈给我们的玩家。
All right, so that is awesome. I think that's super cool. So what they're saying is they basically do check the chats and everything. They don't necessarily interact with us, but they will read what's going on to gather some information. Vega, huge shout out to GM Vega. Wow, they must talk with a lot of people. That is wow, a lot on their plates. So the next question is, do you often have to work overtime as a game producer? Kind of a random question, but you know what? Let's see.
对于我们来说，其实加班不算多，有的时候
okay.
小伙伴也会留下来，可以看到他们基本都会在打游戏啊，其实是比较放松的一个工作环境。
All right, so that's kind of huge. They don't have to really do overtime. I am jealous as a content creator for Art of Conquest. I put in a lot of this whole channel is overtime, so I'm glad that they don't. This next question is the rewards for the anniversary event are very generous. Won't you lose money? So here's the deal with how that stuff works. I imagine as a company, they're going to have to say that, yes, we're going to lose money and we care so much about everyone that we just want to give away this stuff for free. And that could be true. But multiple things can be true at the same time. The other thing is, if everybody gets the equal amount, then it's just normal. You know what I mean? Like it's not like one person is getting ahead of somebody else. If everyone gets the same amount, then everyone gets the same amount. It's cool and it's good for everybody. If only one person is benefiting, then that's where that balance comes in, and that's where I feel like people will lose money. But if everyone's raised up together, I don't see them losing too much money from it. Hopefully it gets people motivated and fired up to play the game. And I don't know about you guys, but as I get stronger, it makes me have this desire to continue to get even more strong. So I can only see this as a good thing for them, but let's hear them out, and I'm sure that they're going to say that they lost a ton of money. I would. Like, that's the safe thing to do.
会呀，但是没关系，主要还是要让领主们开心。
So that was the safest answer, and I can't blame them for that as a business. So yes, they're going to lose money, but it's because they care about you. So Art of Conquest is 4 years old. Is there something you'd like to say to the commanders? All right, let's check this one out. Bet you it's something nice.
首先呢，是非常感谢各位领主的支持。那一个游戏可以运行4年，其实是非常不容易的。 这离不开领主们对于我们游戏的支持。那虽然我知道我们游戏有很多大家一直吐槽的地方，比如说平衡性啊等等。那希望之后呢，大家可以给我们提越来越多的建议，这样我们可以优化和调整，争取让大家越来越满意。最后还是非常感谢领主对于剑与家园的支持。
All right, so that was probably so genuine. At least I completely took that as genuine. Yeah, phone game lasting for 4 years, that is honestly super impressive. Is the game at its most popular peak? Is it the biggest, baddest game? No. But is it still an awesome game? And is there still pockets of amazing communities out there? Absolutely. And I have to give a lot of props to Lilith for being able to at least keep me, I'll speak for me, keep me interested in 4 years. I can't quit this darn game. I keep coming back because I like it. So they're doing something right. So good job, Lilith. Good job, Art of Conquest. I also really like how humble she was, because not only was she saying all the stuff that you would expect a company to say when asked about, like, is there something you want to say to your customers? It's like, yes, we love you. Thank you for your support. But not only that, but she acknowledged some of the shortcomings of Art of Conquest when she talked about the balance and wanting feedback from players. And that I think speaks a lot to the integrity of the company, in my opinion, at least for her. For her to say that and be honest and humble with that, really good job. I think that's massive. I think that's huge. That means a lot to me. It's one thing if they come out and they just say, oh, thank you for the support, which they did do, but to also acknowledge the shortcomings in the personal battles that Lilith is going through. What I would love to see, because there's really good feedback, and they take that feedback, we can see it happening. The problem is we see it happening in really long segments, and I think that some of it, like Taint with the new Void levels, the balance with the troops, it came. But oftentimes it comes months and months and months after the issues have kind of been brought to attention. Like, hey, 60 to 80% of all dragons are useless, and now we're talking about redoing some of the dragons. So I feel like we are heard, and as a consumer, I get really impatient. I shouldn't have to wait 6 months or 12 months for the change to come that everybody can universally agree needs to come. So I think the speed at which they change these things, maybe the producers need to work overtime. I don't know. And I'm just playing around it if they hear this, but I think that the speed at which the changes in the balances come, because it's not just a balance issue, it's also the speed that the balance issues are kind of taken care of that matter as well. It's not just the issue, it's can we resolve this issue and in what type of time period? Right now it seems like it's a little bit too long, but that's kind of like this video. This video is going on a little bit too long, so I just want to say as well that I'm happy and excited for the 4-year anniversary. I'm looking forward to doing all of the events. It's super cool. So with that, guys, if you want this channel to keep going, if you want the game to keep going, smash the thumbs up button for this video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We have Discord, Facebook group, all that awesome stuff down below in the description. We have a direct donation link if you want to help supplement everything, because YouTube really doesn't pay that much. And leave me a comment. That's the best thing you can do to help out the algorithm. And with that, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.